Hey guys, just as we've done a quick update on the bot's relate command, I wanted to quickly run through what that looks like with you, because one of the questions that we get a lot is how can I make my bot relate to the chat? So I want to kind of run through very quickly how we go about setting that up and getting you guys up and running with it. So this is what you will see when you log into the dashboard. Obviously, you've got all your links to the left here. You can't see my mouth. There we go. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. So the main thing you want to know is your context. And obviously, the context is your bot's personality. So you want to make sure that you've got this nailed down to exactly how you want. I've just got it set up very standard here for me. And what we'll do is we'll go into our recurring messages. Now you can see here I've already got one recurring message set up, which is every 1 minute do the following at random, relate to a user. So we're going to go through on how to actually set this up. So I will click add on the recurring messages and it'll ask me to set an interval. This is how often I want this to happen. Generally speaking, you probably want this about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to set it to 1 just for now because this is how it's going to work for our example purposes. So I'm going to save that, and you can see now every 1 minute do one of the following at random, and there's nothing because we haven't added anything yet. So if I click the little add button here, you can see we can have text message appear every time. So if you want to trigger one of your commands, you could simply do this and then one of your commands, which might be uptime or however you want. If you want the AI to craft that response, you have to make sure you instruct the AI what to say. So you wouldn't say, I am having fun. You would say, tell the stream that you are having fun. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. I apologize. So let's add our relate command. Now, previously, you wouldn't have seen any of this. This is all new. The relate command would have cost you 2 tokens by default, and it would have done some shenanigans behind the scenes. However, we want to give you a bit more control over that. So you can now switch how much you want the bot to go back in its chat history. So it can either go back 10 messages or 50 messages. Now 50 messages will use 2 tokens to do that because it's some more data that we have to send through to OpenAI to process it. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So you can choose either one of those, up to you. Then if there is a user, so if there is a user chatting in your stream or a user that exists in your stream that the bot can find, it will try and relate to that person. So this is the default that we have set up, which is generate a personally engaging message or question for username, and that is a merge field, so that will get replaced with the user that it randomly picks, based on the prior Twitch conversation provided without repeating anything you've said before. They are also watching the stream. I added that just because sometimes the bot got confused and thought maybe it was just talking to someone in general. You will note that this will not relate to the same user twice. So we had some instances where certain users were getting picked on by the bot to be asked the questions to. So if it can't find, if it speaks to a user and then the next relate time comes around, there's only that user to speak to, it will instead switch to the second one. Or if there isn't anyone in your chat, it will also switch to the second one. So if there is no users to relate to, it will generate a personal engaging message or question for the chat based on the Twitch conversation provided without repeating anything it said before. Now, that is really helpful, especially if you've got no viewers currently, because what it means is that the bot will ask a generic question that you can respond to on your chat, on your stream. Not on your chat, on your stream even. You can tell I'm a professional. So occasionally I'll be streaming and I'll have no viewers, and then all of a sudden the bot will chime in and say, what's your favourite console, or what is your favorite something or other, and that's really useful. So I will save this, and you can see now I now have my relate to a user there. You can edit it, so if you want to just go back to 10 messages you can, or 50, or if you want to tweak these you can. Now currently there is no way to test this, namely because it needs your chat history to do so, and when the bot is active we are logging that chat history for you. We just don't have a good way of testing it at this point. Tests hopefully will be added in the future, but right now, unfortunately, no tests. Sorry. So with that all set up, I will now boot up my bot, which will take 1 minute to actually put a message up there. Now, what I should have done realistically is in the settings panel. I should have put in a welcome message. If you haven't done this already, I highly recommend doing it, even if it's just hi, because it means that as soon as the bot arrives into your chat, it will say a message so you know that it is there. So worst case scenario, if you start your stream, 1 minute goes by, which is approximately the amount of time that the bot takes to boot up, then you can come into the thing and boot it up manually. You'll also ignore this is offline. I'm running this as my local machine, so it's got some shenanigans in the background, let's put it that way. Goodbye message is also useful as well. And now we will just wait for the bot. I imagine maybe I'll edit this, or maybe I won't, because it's just talking. So I can see that in my logs that it has decided there are no users to talk to. And there we go. So it says, hey chat, what's your favourite retro video game that you could play over and over again? Whether it's a platformer, RPG or something else, share your thoughts and let's reminisce about the good old days of gaming. So there I've got an immediate prompt that I can start talking about, even with no viewers present, which I think is really helpful, just to keep you engaging and keep that flow of chatter going. Now, if there was someone in the chat, it might ask them the question. And one thing in the future that we may do is we may change the relations piece so that you can just have this particular section of it as opposed to relating to a user. Really, that's going to depend on your feedback. So yeah, I hope you got a bit of use out of this. We're going to have some slightly more professional videos done that aren't just me rambling at a camera, which is what I tend to do. So if you enjoy that, please set up your relate commands. Let us know any features or anything that you'd be looking forward to in our Discord channel. And I look forward to seeing you soon.